I am going to be continuing drawing this in Adobe Flash. At the beginning of any digital drawing, make sure you set the dimension measurement correctly. I am going with 2560 by 1440 pixels, since I am using a 1440p monitor, hence why. I will start with 2 layers. You will see me lock and unlock layers a bunch of times so objects won't interfere. People have said line of action is a very good early art tactic. I've showcased this once before with this character I drew up earlier on this year. And yes, I'm going to lip sync this character Hiroshi afterwards. Here's a cartoon clip I made earlier on. And special thanks goes to Palve Vasiljevic for voicing Hiroshi. What is he doing? Hey, Hiroshi.
Sorry, N. Gotta go to the concert.
Wait, you too? I thought you'd be the last hero to want to attend this concert.
Nope, I'm going like last time.
Nagisa told me you were excited to come to this concert. Is Nagisa going?
There you go. That's as far as I've gotten so far with that story chapter. Right, let's resize this because that looks a little bit too large. Right, let's start drawing his ear in. It is going to be quite rough. Then I'll neaten up afterwards. Pretty obvious, back with that cartoon clip I just showcased, I am voicing N, if you're wondering. I think you'd be able to tell anyway, especially if you've been following my channel for a little while. Whenever I draw anime ears, I usually draw like an S-shaped curve, usually for male characters. Whenever I draw female character ears, I usually draw them like circular shapes like this. Time to draw his shoulder in. Yeah, we'll curve this one because this is what it looked like earlier on. Yeah, we'll draw a little bit of his armor in as well. It's supposed to have some level of armor on him. So if you give character too much armor, it won't make sense how they're able to run so fast in heavy armor. And he's supposed to look like a ninja anyway. Oh yes, by the way, this is going to be a half body pose. So I usually do full body poses, but for this art series I'm going to do it as half body pose for this one. I'll start on his hair, but only for a little while. Character hair takes ages for me. Regardless of if it's a male character or female character, hair just takes ages. Right. There's this game I played before called Resident Evil 4. And it's where that game got remade not too long ago, right? And one of the funniest things about original Resident Evil 4 is this one character called Lewis, right? And the most funniest thing about original Resident Evil 4 is that you never ever get to play as him, right? And when you do the Mercenaries game, it's where you get to play as 5 different characters, one of them being Albert Wesker. And it's where the most funniest thing about Resident Evil 4 Remake is that you actually get to play as Lewis. So people had to wait from the year 2005 all the way to now just to get to play as him. There's another funny part in Resident Evil 4, right? There's this castle you go through, and at one point you're up against this major villain called Salazar. And at one point there's this giant statue of him, and guess what, he literally chases you down. And the first time I came across this, I instantly thought up of Brave Fenta Musashi, when you are actually running away from the rolling statue head with the whoa jump, whoa jump, whoa jump. And guess what, in Resident Evil 4 you do a similar thing, except you roll over. And it's where the funniest thing is that in Resident Evil 4, when you go outside the castle, is where it shows the big statue literally punched through the wall, and it just looks so funny. It's like, what? This is supposed to be a scary game, and they're putting funny parts in it. That's just so weird. Like, congratulations Capcom, you turned a scary game into a funny game. And there's yet another funny part in Resident Evil 4, and there's this man called the Merchant, and the voice actor called Paul Mercier, he does Leon's voice and the Merchant's voice in the same game. And the Merchant's a shopkeeper, and he says, "What are you buying and what are you selling?" And it's just so funny because it's just the voice actor talking to himself. Just trading with himself. Like, "I'd like to buy a TMP machine gun." Oh, before I forget, if you like my videos so far, please take a like, subscribe, and watch the videos. I love it when my average view duration gets very high. The other day, I came across this. I was like, oh wow. It was like a big compilation of Mega Man videos that I made in the past. It was on Mega Man 11 anyway. And it was back in 2019, and it's where I thought, why not just make a compilation video of every single Mega Man 11 video and combine it together and see how that goes. Yes, I know these are cuboid shaped fingers, but remember this is rough, so yeah, we're gonna fix that thumb a little bit. Fun fact, that thumb actually looks better than the rest of the handles. This is supposed to be rough. I am fully aware that there is Resident Evil 4 remake. I've not played that one, but people told me that one of the nitpicks of Resident Evil 4 is Ada Wong's voice. Sally Cahill did a much better job doing Ada Wong's voice back in the 2005 version compared to someone new who does Ada Wong's voice. And a lot of people were saying they liked the previous VA for Ada Wong better, and when I heard the comparison I was thinking, yep, the new VA for Ada Wong sounds like a grocery shopper like this, whereas Ada Wong's voice back in 2005 RE4, it was like, maybe another time type thing, and she sounds like a spy. That kind of voice. So it's like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go resize that hand. There we go, there. That's loads better. I am fully aware there's people on YouTube going around saying, oh, do not zoom in on your art when making any type of artwork. I tried doing that a bunch of times before, like years ago, and it doesn't actually work. Because as you can see, I'm zoomed in right now. Imagine trying to do this even the rough way at 100% instead of 400% as you can see on the top of the screen. The only time I would say it's okay to not zoom in is if it's a very, very basic shape, like an apple or a banana or something like that. But if it's something more complex like a humanoid character of some sort, then yes, you're gonna need to zoom in, especially on hands or drawing in characters' eyes and that type of object. So, rule of thumb, this is just my opinion, but I think zooming in out of 10 for advice for anyone who's new to doing artwork, I'd say that's an okay strategy, but it depends what you're doing. If it's something plain, then it's okay to not zoom in. If it's something very detailed, you're gonna need to zoom in a lot. I've done that so many times where I had to zoom in just to draw accessories and such, but you know. Yes! I'm doing more of Hiroshi's hair in. This is one of the more fun parts, in my opinion anyway. It does take a little while to draw up hair, even if they're male character, because I need to draw like the front side of the hair, then there's the back side of the hair. Some of this is subject to change later on. This is pretty neat for rough. I guess I've drawn hair for so long that it's actually gotten quite easy to draw hair up now. I think it's a brilliant idea to color code his hair blue stroke lines, because then it makes double clicking what I want much easier. By the way, Hiroshi is supposed to be 40 years old, so that's why he's supposed to look middle-aged. It's also because he's got two daughters, one that's 15 years old and one that's 19 years old, hence why. And I made it be where the one characteristic that's the same across all three characters is the green eyes. Oh yes, I did check out a few live streams from other people. There was this one person that's an artist, and it was a face cam based one, and he went around saying, oh, I've got a really old picture to show you. Hold on a second, let me go onto my PC and I'm actually gonna go try and find it. And it took like more than 20 seconds. And he was saying, oh no, I'm losing viewer retention. And yes, I did actually drop out. Oh well. Well, maybe if it was a little bit faster, he would have got to keep me watching him. To be fair though, during that live stream, I was watching it at 10 PM at night. And I want to go to sleep soon anyway, so I wouldn't have watched it much longer than that anyway. Oh yes, there was another live stream done by someone who used to be on YouTube, but he's not there anymore, right? And this Let's Player was playing Dino Crisis 1, a Capcom game. Same people that made up Resident Evil and Mega Man and Street Fighter, you know, a lot of famous IPs that they're known for. And this Let's Player came across so many puzzles, and he kept saying, okay, everyone in the chat, tell me what to do with these puzzles. And someone else in the chat said, why are you wanting people to do the puzzles for you in a video game on your first try? And then he said, oh, do you want to see me get stuck for half an hour? I can see where he's getting at, but the problem was that this Let's Player was kept comparing Dino Crisis to Resident Evil every 5 minutes. It's just like, Dino Crisis is obviously based off Jurassic Park because it's dinosaurs that you're up against and that kind of thing. I was so surprised that when it got to the end of Dino Crisis 1, it was like saying, is that it? I'm so sorry folks, but I'm gonna say it loud and clear. Dino Crisis 1 is rubbish. There's so many puzzles in this and all we got to fight was 10 enemies in the whole game. I can totally see where he's getting at, but he was just taking it way too seriously. And by the way, the thing with this Let's Player is that he was playing a pirated copy of it. And you can tell that this Let's Player was using an illegal emulator because there was emulation errors. And in the ending to Dino Crisis 1, if you see like a big bar at the top and at the bottom, it means that he is playing a pirated copy. If he was playing a physical copy where it's not pirated, it wouldn't have those emulation errors there at all. So basically, this Let's Player was complaining so much about a game he literally stole in the first place. I cannot say who it is, but he's not on YouTube anymore anyway. That's the thing I hate about people. They go around getting so hissy and angry over something that they got to do for free. It's like, wow, I hate Dino Crisis 1 or whatever game it is, and it's like, you played it for free. And it's the same thing on YouTube. People are like disliking on something even when it's actually good. And it's like, you watched it for free. You didn't have to pay anything to see that. And I am not alone when I say that, because other people pointed that out even in this Let's Player's comment section anyway. And this one Let's Player who quit YouTube, he got a bunch of dislikes for saying how much he hates Dino Crisis 1. And he didn't even get around to playing Dino Crisis 2, which is actually better from what I've seen anyway. Yes, I'm actually colour coding parts of the ear and parts of the hair green and red, but it's so that it won't interfere when I'm double clicking things so that I can move things around. This hair segment's taking ages. Maybe I should have given him less spikes in his hair when I first drew up Hiroshi. By the way, there is more than one way to draw a character, it's just that I usually prefer doing it the line of action way, then draw rough afterwards. There is this strategy where artists draw like a circle and put like a cross face on it, but I was thinking about doing it that way, but I just thought, nah, we'll just do it the rough way, just do it this way. Yes, we're gonna start drawing the opposite side of his hair. It's kind of symmetrical, other than the top of his hair, you know, the crown segment. I still haven't got around to drawing his eyes in yet. It's like 15 minutes in and we still haven't got around to his eyes. Don't worry, I'll do that soon. Yeah, you'll see me switching between the pen tool and the stroke line tool. It's better to use the pen tool when you want to draw over other lines. It's quite helpful actually. Yeah, that shoulder down there definitely needs fixing at some point. The shoulder armor doesn't look as good as his hair does. Oh yes, I've actually been receiving a few comments from various people asking me what microphone are you using. I'm surprised that people are still asking me this. I did tell them, which is true anyway. I'm using a Blue Yeti microphone and it's lasted me 5 whole years and it's still alive and kicking. It's definitely a big step up from the NASM microphone I used to use before 2019. So if you ever want to get a microphone for anything at all, for conference meetings or anything, definitely invest in the Blue Yeti microphone. Back in 2019 is where I got this as a present actually, but the value of it was about £110 and I'm surprised that it's actually lasted this long. I was expecting it to go broken by last year, but it's still alive and kicking. I'm so surprised by that. And if you divide £110 by 5, that's £22 for each year. Well, that's why people say if you buy something cheap you have to buy twice, whereas sometimes if you buy something expensive it lasts longer. Yes, I'm drawing his eyes in. I'm going to draw his nose in as well. It'll be quite simple. I think I need to lower that point in his nose a little bit lower. Yeah, that'll be alright. Yes. I did mention it before, but don't do asymmetrical eyes because of the angle I'm drawing him at. If you're drawing your own character with this kind of pose, then yeah, you will not be able to shortcut by copying and pasting the eyes and just inverting it vertically. But yeah. So no shortcuts there unfortunately. So even at my point of view I'm gonna have to redraw the eyes separately. Look how many different colour stroke lines I'm using. I've got green, I got blue, I got red, I got purple. I keep changing it so many times. Yeah, there's supposed to be like shines in the eyes as well. I keep forgetting to put that in. Alright, we'll use the pen tool over here. Yeah, there's gonna be 2 different shades of green later on. Let's move to the right. Yeah, we'll go and draw his other eye in, including the eyelashes sort of area. Technically, I could have drawn his eyes a heck of a lot earlier than this, but the reason why I didn't is because I had to make sure that the face lining and the hair looked right first, because otherwise the eyes would look either too small, too big, too much to the left, too much to the right, that kind of thing. So that's why I usually don't draw the eyes in straight away. I will have to draw over his hair a little bit, but it should be fine. Because some big name 2D artist tends to draw characters' eyes over the hair, it's so that you can see expressions better, like angry eyes or happy eyes, that type thing. So I'm going to stick to that convention as well. This is most likely going to be the last video this year, judging that it's end of December. I'm hoping next year will be much better because I don't like this year that much. Lots of crazy things have happened basically, but there you go. I was thinking about making another compilation based video where I put together all the Nagisa pointing artwork tutorials and put them all together. If I do that, that whole compilation based video will be like over 2 hours long. I like doing this because it's a good way to just put everything all in one video, all in one go. Yeah, I'm going to draw a little bit of his handguard in. Will be a little bit rough, but I'm going to keep this video to like around 20 minutes. I think that's a good ball mark for this art video, yeah. By the way, I have counted how many long form videos I've made this year, and I've made 78 videos in the year 2024. I don't know how many long form videos I'm going to be making next year. I just realised I've not put his other eyebrow in yet. I think when it comes to episode 2 of this, I'm gonna start colouring Hiroshi in. I mean, why not? Yeah, you can see that the hair looks so much better than the handles on the right there. I think I'll leave the hand fixing for episode 2. I'm gonna add some dimples to his cheeks as well. The next episode of this will be in times 4 speed, like it is in this video, so yeah.